Episode 51, Are You Happy? Welcome to Longing for More, where professionals haunted by the knowing that they were created for more come to strengthen their faith and find the path to stop wasting time in boredom or overwhelm and instead live a life of fulfillment and peace. Don't you love it when a child says something so simple, but when you really think about it, it has a deep meaning and it really becomes a thought that lingers with you for days? My 3-year-old grandson has this thing he does. Every once in a while, he will stop whatever he's doing and simply ask, "Are you happy, Nana?" Now, I know for the most part, when he asks me this, it's because he's done something that he knows he could be in trouble for, and this is his way of heading that trouble off. But other times, it seems so random. Has he seen something on my face that makes him think I'm not happy? Or is he feeling a sense of frustration or disappointment in me that I'm not even aware of? I'm really not sure, but mostly I think it's fascinating that a 3-year-old is sensitive and caring enough to even ask others if they are happy. I'm fascinated because as I've been thinking about this topic for this show all week long, my husband returns from a conference where, as it turns out, happiness was the main focus. Apparently, there were people there speaking who called themselves Chief Happiness Officer and other such titles. People who have spent their entire career focused on keeping their teams happy as a primary goal. My question is whether it's really realistic to make sure that everyone in an organization is happy all the time. Is that really even possible? I think not. In fact, I don't think it's something we should actually strive for because, to be honest, to improve our station in life, we need to feel some tension between happiness or contentment and the need for something more. It's in that longing that spurs us to take action that will change our lives and draw us to our true purpose in life. Think about the last time you had that sense that there was something missing in your life. Did you push it away, or did you take a minute and try to figure out what it was that you might be lacking? So many of us just ignore that sense that there should be more. We keep ourselves so busy, we don't have time to dwell on it. And then we begin to have stress and anxiety and can't figure out why. What if, instead of ignoring that feeling, we began to get curious about where it's coming from and consider it a hint from God that He wants us to take some action? That restlessness or dissatisfaction may be a clue rather than just a simple annoyance. With that concept in mind, think of a recent time when you felt restless or dissatisfied. What could God have been trying to say to you at that point? For me, I've had this cloud of restlessness and a sense of something missing on my heart for months. Every once in a while, I'll have this breakthrough in a coaching session or in a conversation or just reading a book, and I'll think, finally, I found it. That's the missing piece. I can move on. And then a short time later, that lingering feeling will kick in again. It's sort of like playing a game. Regardless of what the game is, we take turns, and depending on what the game's rules are, we only get to find out how far we move at each turn. We don't get to see what will happen prior to our next turn, and we never get to see how it will end until we've gone through each step along the way. So what if we considered this discontentment as a clue that it's time to make a move? It might mean a change in our health routine so we can feel better, or it could mean a change in how we perceive a situation so that we can get along better with our neighbor or coworker. Or maybe it's taking some training so that we can perform our work more efficiently. Regardless, we just keep improving along the way so that we can continue upgrading our situation and subsequently our lives. I love how Matthew Kelly describes it in his book, The Rhythm of Life. He says, "Our bodies need regular exercise and a balanced diet, and so do our minds. You have a legitimate need to nourish your mind. If you choose the right diet of the mind, your life will be directed by ideas of excellence and greatness. If you allow the media and secular culture to select your intellectual diet, your life will be formed by distraction and mediocrity." This is actually true not only for our body and our mind, but it's also true for our heart and our soul. We have a need to fulfill each of these aspects of our lives, and these needs change throughout our lives. But regardless of how we fulfill these needs, we must fill them and have a lasting joy in our lives. Sadly, the crazy busy lives we lead keep us from hearing that longing in our soul that will lead us to that joy. There is nothing like a healthy dose of peace and quiet each morning to really get us grounded in what we need to be nourished each day. We have so many choices and opportunities constantly vying for our attention each day. The only way to really know which are best for us is to find some quiet time to listen to our heart, our mind, our body, and soul, each on a consistent basis. The beauty of all this is that we already have everything we need to succeed with this. We simply must be still so we can listen to God's whisper in our ear and honor the truth that is within us. Matthew Kelly goes on to say, we all have needs. We need air to breathe, water to drink, and food to eat. We need to love and be loved. We need to accept and appreciate others and be accepted and appreciated by others. We need to learn, to change, and to grow. We need to remember who we truly are and what matters most. We need. Later, he goes on to say, life should be a rich, rewarding experience. Our lives should be filled with moments of wonder and inspiration. Life is an expression of abundance and should be lived passionately. Know your needs. The problem is that we do not fulfill our true needs because we are too busy trying to pursue our wants. We buy more, we travel more, we seek more power, we change our hairstyle, our wardrobe, virtually anything to avoid taking care of the things we really need. The truth is, we will never be able to fill the things we need with the things we want, and we will never really be fulfilled until we get what we need. So many of us waste our lives pursuing things that cannot satisfy, believing they will bring us happiness when they cannot possibly do that. Our soul longs for the things of meaning for our lives, the things that satisfy our deepest desires. Unless we are making progress toward these desires, we will have that sense of dissatisfaction. If we ignore the longing long enough, we will begin to experience dis-ease. Over the long term, our bodies will manifest the need for more in various ways that will, if not properly nourished, eventually turn into chronic pain and illness. The longing for more is very real. God laid that deep desire in our hearts for a reason. Please don't ignore it. It will take courage to step into the pursuit of it, especially because you won't see what the end looks like when you begin the journey. But this is where you get to test your faith, to trust in God and His providence. The Bible tells us to fear not 365 times. I don't think that's a coincidence that the number of times corresponds with the number of days in a year. Remember, God Himself is right there beside you each step of the way. So stop chasing after the things that you want to have that have no lasting value. Instead, pursue the things you need, and you will have a peaceful, fulfilling life. So in answer to my grandson's questions, Nana, are you happy? The answer is yes. I am so very happy. But it isn't because I have so many things that I want, but that I've found the answer to seeking the things I need. One of which is spending quality time with Him on a regular basis. Somehow, happy doesn't seem quite big enough of a word for it. But that, my friend, is a topic for another day. During May of 2019, we are celebrating the 50th episode of this podcast, and that is now called Longing for More. Used to be Reviving Your Soul. And we are also concluding the first year of production of the podcast. To celebrate, I'm offering a free coaching session to help you take that first step in finding out what it is your soul is longing for. Schedule your 30-minute session today to find out what needs to be nourished in your life. The link to schedule the first step session is in the show notes, or if you can't find the link, just go to VonnaJohnson.com. That's VonnaJohnson.com//the first step. Thank you for stopping by today. I know how valuable your time is, and I appreciate you spending your time with me. If you know someone who might be encouraged by this message or might be interested in the free coaching session to determine what's missing in their life, I ask that you please share it with them. Of course, I'd love it if you would take me up on that offer too. It truly is a gift with no strings attached. It's my way of saying thank you for listening. With that, I will say goodbye. Have a blessed week and go live your more.